The Encyclopedia of Magic has caused the singles market to go into flux as staple cards are now up for discounts, especially when you consider that these are specialized treatments when compared to the rest. We're going to talk about the amazing deals that exist right now because of this drop, and also the stabilizing Halo foil market right now. Hey everybody, I'm the Nerdy Attorney. Thanks for stopping by. If you like this content and you want to see more, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell button, do everything you can to let the algorithm know that you like this and you want to see more. Now, as you know, I was very excited. I opened 4 boxes of the Secret Lair Encyclopedia of Magic. 2 were for me, 2 were for a friend. It was like a quasi live stream box battle. I lost as usual, making my win streak at 0. I've never won a box battle yet, but when we were opening them, the Halo foil market was going out of control. We knew the pre-release prices were going to be high, but I don't think anybody thought they'd be as high as they actually were. It didn't last. The market dropped out, and we'll talk about that shortly. But one of the other interesting phenomena is because the Halo foils created this chase market, almost like a mini collector booster box drop directly shipped from Wizards, there was chase cards in the form of the Halo foils. They were gorgeous and beautiful. But that meant that a lot of cards that were actually worth money, like Demonic Consultation, Isochron Scepter, Crop Rotation, Brain Freeze, are just a few that we're going to discuss today. They are all up for discounts as they're being offloaded as essentially bulk, when they really aren't. They are cards worth a lot more, and these are specialized treatments. And if they're to your aesthetic taste, then they're certainly something that you want to take a look at and maybe pick up at a discount compared to the base treatment of these cards, giving you the great power of the card with a new, unique aesthetic. And if you like some of these cards, make sure you use the affiliate link below for a mana pool. You can support the channel that way, and you'll see that this interface is a great way for you to directly compare other treatments. For example, every treatment of Brain Freeze is present right here. You can see their current prices, and you can determine whether or not it's a good deal when looking at this particular card here. $7.99 for Brain Freeze, 2 of them available, and the cheapest other version of Brain Freeze is $9.94, and we can assume that's probably at a lower quality rating than what you have here. But when you look at even the most recent Secret Lair Drop Brain Freeze Borderless, and admittedly a very cool anime as compared to this advertisement from the olden days, is $26 as the low price. And here we have it as the low price of $8. You can already see the market is adjusting. $14 as the next highest price, as this will creep up to a more expensive price category, but there's still 4 available on Mana Pool right now, and more even on TCG, with I think an equivalently low price of $7.19 here, with many more available as people tried to offload these as the more Ripper mentality has spread into Magic the Gathering Secret Lair drops, as people are trying to get these more rare pulls like the Halo foils. Another great card I wanted to talk about is Demonic Consultation. I think this art is less polarizing than the Brain Freeze art. I love it. I think it's really cool, and it's actually super legible to read. Again, Demonic Consultation for $7, when the next best treatment at a low price is $8.48, which means it's probably a heavy play or light play, getting that value from the Ice Age original. The very cool Bunny Pet Cemetery style card is at $8.48 as well for a low price, but the Secret Lair Drop, which again, this is a very limited drop that was very sought after. I have to imagine inventory is going to remain low, as many people bought this layer for things like Demonic Consultation, as it was one of the first spoiled cards available. But here we see a $34 low price for a non-foil Demonic Consultation from Secret Lair, and again, $7, $9, $11. These are all great pickups right now if this art style speaks to you. Isochron Scepter, again, kind of a polarizing art. I think it's hilarious. It's kind of funny to see, bright colors. But Isochron Scepter is a very valued card in a lot of different gameplay strategies. We see here $6.49, $6.98, $9.49, and the price is slowly creeping up to something higher. But the lowest cost of an old dual decks Izzet versus Golgari is $12. Again, very likely heavy play, which is accounting for the lower price here. $14 from Mirrodin, one of the more popular treatments of the card, and one of the most known because it was included on the list. But again, this is a really good value for a Secret Lair limited drop of an art that does appeal to many people. You're looking at $6.50 here before it's slowly creeping back up to even just the base price. So if you're somebody who likes unique art, you like Secret Lair drops, especially Secret Lair drops that are in a limited run and were in such high demand they sold out very quickly, this could be one of those cards where you get something you like in your deck that also incidentally will gain value over time. Now, not financial advice, but if we look at any Secret Lair drop, typically they do gain value over time. Who's to say with this one? Nobody knows. Do your own research. It's just cardboard, but it is fun. Crop Rotation, I personally like this. It's that style of the Play-Doh Secret Lair drop from the Extra Life. $5.30 for what I think to be a gorgeous card with a really powerful mechanic, And again, looking at other crop rotations, Urza's Legacy, low for probably heavy play, $4. So we are at consistent pricing for a crop rotation. But if you look at its competitor, the only other borderless crop rotation in an in-universe Entish style thing from Double Masters, you see this is way, way lower, $5.36 in a Double Masters, which we know was printed way more than a limited Secret Lair drop. A Japanese media promo here, $26. So we see that rarity and uniqueness, even if the art is the same as the original Urza's Legacy print, does carry additional price value when looking at crop rotation, and I would assume the same is going to happen here. So if this art speaks to you for $5, it might be worth picking it up. Next, and more of a heavy hitter, we can look at Phyrexian Altar. Phyrexian Altar with only 2 left at $38. We can see here on the chart, it dropped as low as 34 with 11 sold, and then it bounced right back up to 52. Now, Phyrexian Altar, again, the mana pool interface here, not to advertise it, but me personally as a collector who likes different treatments, I love seeing everything laid out right here so I can look at which printing has the most value and which printings are available so I can see how printed this card is. Is it overprinted, underprinted, or somewhere in the sweet spot? When looking at this, I'd say this is somewhere in the sweet spot. I remember opening Double Masters 2022 and I got a foil Phyrexian Altar, which I think is still 80 bucks or so, and it's one of my favorite cards of all time. Looking at the price points here for Phyrexian Altar, all-time lows were at 53 for an old Ultimate Masters. Probably conditioning will impact that there, but Ultimate Masters is a much more new set from 2018, so probably not as much. So $53 for a basic Phyrexian Altar card, and $38.98 to available for this incredible futuristic sci-fi horror Phyrexian Altar. Just beautiful, really cool, and plenty available, still well below that price point here of $53. So for what I think is a great art that's going to age very well in my opinion, and is also in very low supply, $38.98 seems like an insane discount. I almost feel like I buried the lead here. I might have to mention at the beginning, check out the Phyrexian Altar, just click the chapter below for an example of the crazy value I'm talking about that's on offer, because people were really just looking for the Halo foils. They wanted to sell the Halo foils quick, and I'll tell you why I think that time is coming to an end, because the Halo foil market is balancing. But we have one more card to talk about before going there. Mythic Shield of Argive. Super powerful card, really great in any human-centered deck because of its ability, and I think stunning, stunning art. $13.99, $14.64, and then again, slowly starting to creep up, so this window may be closing. But Mythic Shield of Argive is $16 for a low price here in the basic Brothers War, and then it jumps up to $22 for a pre-release. The extended art gets you $29. This is the only borderless treatment of this card. So people who like to bling out their decks always pay a little bit more for a blinged out version. Do you think for a second they're going to say, oh, $29 is an equal price for an extended art, but the borderless is also $29, and that's not going to drive up the price as the supply decreases? Of course it is. So first off, an amazing discount for, again, the only borderless treatment. There is a fog on the singles market regarding all of these cards. Click around Mana Pool, see them for yourselves, and you can see the kind of values on offer here, especially for the cards that did fall more into that under $5 bulk category. These are limited run borderless cards from Secret Lair in one of the most exciting Secret Lair drops I've seen in recent memory, probably since before Heads I Win, Tails I Lose, but that was marred by the really long delivery time from that deck, the first Commander deck coming from Secret Lair. So I think these have great chances to be really cool collector pieces that will also appreciate over time, but again, who knows what's going to happen. This is just my gut feeling, and I'm happy I have 2 copies of each of these cards now, and some of them even in the foil or in Halo foil. Now, I want to talk about the Halo foil market because this was an insane boom and bust market. I couldn't believe it. So it's not like these are any more available, and we saw vicious pull rates. In my own small little micro example, we had 4 boxes, 2 had 2 Halo foils, 2 had none. We've seen a few people report 3 Halo foils coming out of a singular box, and many people referring to their box having 0 Halo foils. Now again, when I opened it the day it arrived, we were at the very, very early cycle of pre-release. My buddy pulled a Halo foil Mythic Shield of Argive, as well as the Halo foil Field of the Dead. Now, Field of the Dead was another one of those cards I was going to highlight. This one is rallying in price, but for a while it was selling at an incredibly low $19 for a card that is not very printed. There was only previous to this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 printings, and they're fetching $36 at minimum, but This was selling for $15 on eBay, TCG, and Manapool, and now it's jumped back up to $27, $29. It still is a discount to the $36, but it's not as extreme a discount anymore. But I personally like this art style, and Field of the Dead is a very sought after underprinted card. This is a borderless treatment again. Other borderless treatments of this card have done very well. $56 for this one. It's a pretty cool treatment. You can see the little zombies here, but personally, it's a special guest card, so the availability might be equivalent to Secret Lair. I don't know, but I would just guess it would be less available. This one fetches $56, and then $87 for the Field of the Dead with this The Evil Dead Secret Lair drop, which I wish I got. That was a $39.99 Secret Lair, and this is now more than double that, almost 2 years later from when that drop occurred. So borderless Secret Lair Field of the Deads tend to do really well, and there are going to be people who like this. This is more of a cutesy style, which I know is not the typical style of some of the more historic Magic the Gathering players, but modern players do like cutesy styles if Bloomborough is any indication of that. So I can see this getting a niche following, and again, underprinted. So let's return to Halo foils though, another card I meant to highlight in the video. The Halo foil market has decreased dramatically. It's slowed down quite a bit. When looking at some of the prices here, we see that in TCG they remain kind of low, but when looking on eBay, people were listing these at $650, $500, $399, and some even sold at that value. Look at this. When it was just getting hyped November 7th, this one sold for $1,100. $300, $300, $249. That one had best offer accepted on the 9th, $225, $199, and you see the prices slowly drop down from there for the Halo foil Field of the Dead. But again, not a huge volume of Halo foils available. But in looking at the price points, only a few are available before you crack into that $150 price point, which was the cost of just one of the full boxes if you got the buy one, get one 50% off deal. So that, for me, having one pay for the box, feels like where the sweet spot of high chase cards are, and this Field of the Dead is still trying to figure out whether or not it's going to be one of the chase cards, like Phyrexian Altar or that Urza Saga, or one of the more benign cards like Brain Freeze. We'll see where it lands. I'm interested to follow this, but either way, the Halo foil market has stabilized quite a bit. I mean, we see Altar of the Brood Halo foil back to $37 from an all-time high sale point of $72.99. So these things have basically halved in less than a week. The recording of this video is November 12th, 2025. A lot of these high prices started November 7th. So if you're interested in the Halo foils, I think these have more room to fall, to be honest, but we'll have to see where that price point begins to go, because looking at these prices, we see the race to the bottom is a little bit more spread than normal. We have a jump from 34 down to 30 right off the bat. It's not like a dollar change like you see here, a couple dollars here. It really is trying to plummet down to the bottom as people are determining the value of these Halo foils. And I can tell you, just from the prices here, the availability is not that high. We only have a total listed of 38 right now of these Halo foils, and most of the Secret Lair Drop boxes have probably been opened at this point, is my guess. This isn't like a release of collector boxes where there's tens of thousands of them across the country that slowly get offloaded and sold. There's the pre-release season as the prices are high, and then that pre-release season allows only certain sellers to sell on TCG, eventually getting it to the hands of regular consumers who are trying to make back the value of their boxes if they pull one of these chase cards that they're not really connected to or passionate about, and then those flood the market. It's about a 1 to 3 week price reduction period as more and more become available. This is different. This did not have that pre-release hype bar that we're seeing now. Everybody and anybody who ordered the Secret Lair, from stores all the way down to regular players, were able to list these immediately. The inventory has flooded the market and is now receding. So I think we're getting close to the bottom for the Halo foils. So if you like any of these, it might be worth picking up at this time, but very hard to say. You know, there's always going to be room to move here. And I always say, don't try and invest in Magic cards. This isn't about making money. It's about if you like these treatments and you want to get them for the best deal possible for your collection that you'll love and cherish for years to come. We're getting close to that price point, I think. So I'll be very curious to see where this goes, but if these charts are any indication of if we hit the bottom already in singles, I think we probably did hit the bottom in the singles for the lower tier ones. Breaching into that $50, $70 category, we see a retraction to that $40 price point. And then again, it looks like we might be on the uptick. Now, who can tell if this is a dead cat bounce or if it's something more sustained, and we'll have to see over time. But either way, I wanted to make a video about it and highlight the fact that some amazingly powerful cards that we know and love, like Field of the Dead, Isochron Scepter, Phyrexian Altar, they are all seeing lower price points than one would expect for the card itself in the power, not to mention it is in a more rarefied and sought after treatment. Now, there are some exceptions to this, by the way. I should mention that just to get this beautiful card on screen for 2 seconds. Urza Saga did not see this same discount. The lowest is $32, $33. This has been reduced quite a bit, and this is also flooding the market with more Urza Sagas. Although you do see, this is an amazing art. When you just compare this to its other contemporaries, this store championship, which was the coolest Urza Saga I had ever seen, and the only close to borderless Urza Saga, $398, hyper low availability though. Store championships, 1 per store. I would suspect there are far less of these in the market than there are of these. In terms of Halo foil pricing, I can't tell. I don't know. It might be fairly equivalent. Very difficult to say. That's all speculation. But what I do know is Urza Saga is a card that goes in every single deck that has a Soul Ring. It's a card that only gets better with artifact-specific strategies, and I don't see the only borderless treatment, which, by the way, in my opinion, is an incredible art, not gaining value well in and above the other Urza Sagas here. So even at $44, that's a great price. 2 available right now, 44 bucks, a good discount, just $10 more than the lowest treatment, $11 more than the lowest treatment. This is a great Urza Saga. I see it aging very well and becoming a real collector's piece in the future. So either way, that's my thoughts on this. I wanted to highlight it. It's a really interesting sort of pattern that's happening right now. And it's like we're getting a release of a new set all in a matter of a week, having the same price movement, flooding the market, price drop, price correction, and now stabilization and an increase of the cards that people want. Well, what do you think about this set? Did you enjoy it? Did you get it? Comment below what your favorite card was from this set. Did you like the art style? I personally did for the vast majority of the cards. Some missed me, but the vast majority I like. And if I'm going to play those cards, I'm going to be turning to my Encyclopedia of Magic first to include them in my decks. Well, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell button below, and I really appreciate you stopping by. More great stuff to come. A deck tech is on the way, and my first ever gameplay videos have been recorded, and it will be coming up soon. So, thanks for watching. I'm the Nerdy Attorney. Be excellent to each other, play paper magic with your friends, and until next time, court is adjourned.